Hey everyone, I'm going to talk about the Agrarian reform of the Philippines. The history of Agrarian reform is included in this topic so that we have an idea on how the Agrarian reform program in the Philippines has been implemented for the pre-colonial time up to the present administration. So the Agrarian reform in the Philippines. The 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 2, Section 21 says that the state shall promote comprehensive rural development and agrarian reform. So the state must reasonably solve the age-old problem and of poverty of our people who are ill-housed, ill-clad, and ill-nourished. A great majority home live in rural areas. The present agrarian reform law, implemented nationwide, is the Republic Act Number 6657, otherwise known as the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law, signed into the law by the former President Corazon Aquino and implemented a government program known as Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program. During the pre-colonial times, before the Spaniards came to the Philippines, land was practically owned by the community known as barangays and led by chiefs or dato. Land cultivation was done commonly by slash and burn method. This is called kaingin. Hence, despite the existence of different classes in the social structure, practically everyone had access to the fruits of the soil. So during the Spanish era, Pueblo agriculture existed, a system wherein native rural communities is given certain hectares of lands to cultivate. The three agrarian system in this era is first is friar land for religious orders. Second is repartimientos. This is for land granted to the Spanish military as a reward for their service. Third is encomienda, where a large tract of land was given to Spaniards called encomenderos to manage and have the right to receive tributes from the native tillings. So the system, however, degenerated to abuse of power by the encomenderos. They collect more tributes as land rentals from the natives. A so-called compras y vandala system was practiced wherein tillers were made to compulsory sell at very low price or surrender agricultural harvest to Spanish authorities, and the encomenderos can sell it for profits. So during the American era, there are significant legislations were enacted which includes Philippine Bill of 1902. This bill provides regulations on the disposal of public lands where a private individual can own 16 hectares of land while the corporate landholdings can avail 1,024 hectares. Number 2 is Land Registration Act of 1902 or Act number 496. This provided for a comprehensive registration of land tillers under the torrent system. So number 3 is the Public Land Act of 1903. This introduced the homestead systems in the Philippines, thus allowing the enterprising tenant to acquire at least 16 hectares of land to cultivate. Aside from the torrent system, the Americans also introduced the following laws. First is the Rice Share Tenancy Act of 1933 or Act number 4054. This regulated relationships between landowners and tenants of rice. The first law to legalize a 50-50 crop sharing arrangement. Number 2 is the Sugarcane Tenancy Contracts Act of 1933, also known as Act number 4133. This regulated relationships between landowners and tenants of sugarcane fields and required tenancy contracts on land planted with sugarcane. Number 3 is Friar Land Act or Act number 1120. This provided administrative and temporary leasing and selling of friar lands to its tillers. The torrent system which the Americans instituted for the registration of lands did not help farmers' situation completely. It further worsened the land ownership situation wherein there was no limit of the size of land holdings one could process. Land holdings were once again concentrated in the lands of the law, in the few of the few.
Significant legislation enacted during the Commonwealth period includes number 1, the 1935 Constitution to provide specific provision on the promotion of social justice to ensure the well-being and economic security of all people should be concern of state. Number 2, Commonwealth Act number 178, an amendment to Rice Tenancy Act number 4045, November 13, 1936. It provided for certain controls in the land landlord-tenant relationship. Number 3, Commonwealth Act Number 461 of 1937. It specified that dismissal of tenants should first have the approval of the Tenancy Division of the Department of Justice. Japanese era. During the Japanese era, occupation, peasant, and workers organized the Hukbong Bayan Laban sa mga Hapon, on which they took over vast tracts of land and gave the land and harvest to the people. For them, the war has golden opportunity for people initiative to push poor programs. Landlords were overpowered by the peasant, but unfortunately, at the end of war, through the help of military police and civilian guards, landlords were able to retrieve the lands from the Hukbalahap, the Philippine Republic. Series of revolt, joined mostly by the peasant workers, led to the Philippine independence in 1946. However, President Manuel A. Rojas. Significant legislation enacted during President Manuel A. Rojas are the following. Republic Act Number 334. It established the 7 to 30 sharing agreement and regulated shared tenancy contracts. The 70% of the harvest will go to the person who should. Number 2, Republic Act Number 55. It provided for a more effective safeguard against arbitrary ejectment of tenants.
PGR Quirino. President Quirino enacted Executive Order Number 355 on October 23, 1950. It replaced the National Land Settlement Administration with Land Settlement Development Corporation, or LASDECO, which took over the responsibilities of the Agricultural Machinery Equipment Corporation and the Rice and Corn Production Administration. The LASDECO was established to accelerate and expand the peasant resettlement program for the government. However, due to the limited post-war resources, the program was not successful. Magsaysay. President Magsaysay enacted the following laws. First, the Republic Act Number 1160 on 1954. Free distribution, resettlement, and rehabilitation of agricultural lands, an act abolishing the LASDECO and establishing the National Resettlement and Rehabilitation Administration, or NARA, to resettle the residents and landless farmers. Second, Republic Act Number 1199, Agricultural Tenancy Act of 1954. It governed the relationship between landowners and farmers by organizing share, tenancy, and leasehold system. The law helped protect the tenurial rights of tenants, tellers, and enforce fair tenancy practices. It also created the Court of Agrarian Relations. Number 3, the Republic Act Number 1400, Land Reform Act of 1955, or known as the Land to the Landless Program. It created the Land Tenure Administration, or LTA, which was responsible for the acquisition and distribution of large tenant rice and corn lands over 200 hectares for individuals and 600 hectares for corporations. Number 4, the Republic Act Number 812, created of Agricultural Credit Cooperative Financing Administration, provided small farmers and share tenants loans with low interest rates of 6 to 8%. Fifth, the Republic Act Number 1266 on 1955. It It expropriated Hacienda del Rosario, situated at Baldibuente, Baldibuente, Caban, Cabanatuan City. President Carlos P. Garcia. President Carlos P. Garcia continued to implement the land reform program of President Magsaysay. President Justado P. Macapagal. President Justado Macapagal enacted Republic Act No. 3854 on August 8, 1963, Agricultural Land Reform Code. This was considered to be the most comprehensive piece of agrarian reform legislation ever enacted in the country. It abolished share tenancy institutionalized this mode, set retention limit at 75 hectares, invested rights of preemption and redemption for tenant farmers, provided for administrative machinery for implementation, institutionalized judicial system and agrarian cases, incorporated extensions, marketing, and supervised credit system of service of farmer beneficiaries. For President Ferdinand E. Marcos. President Marcos enacted the two following laws. Presidential Decree No. 2, September 26, 1972. It declared the country under land reform program. It enjoined all agency and offers of the government to extend full cooperation and assistance to the Department Agrarian Reform, or DAR. This also activated an Agrarian Reform Coordinating Council. Number 2, Presidential Decree No. 27 on October 21, 1972. It restricted land reform scope to tenanted rice and corn lands and set the retention limits at 7 hectares.